Okay, I thought I would take a moment today and just say hello. And I've been reading your essays, and I think you have a good start, and I am happy that you're getting going. And some of you are actually pretty far, and I'm really proud that you are getting this assignment done. If you haven't shared it with me, you need to share it with me. So like I don't have Nazleen's or Dunya's or Fartoon's or Abdul's or Mustafa's, Andres. So make sure you're sharing those things with me. Okay? If I miss your name, like Marianne, you need to be sharing that with me. I can't give you any comments unless you share it with me. So make sure you're sharing. So it's number one. Okay, but I thought today I would just take a moment and I would show you what it would look like if I were to type out this essay. Okay, I'll model it for you. Okay, this is not what I'm looking for. So when we have our essay, right, we need to start with an introduction. Okay. If you don't have your assignment sheet out, your instruction sheet, maybe you should put this video on pause for a moment and grab your instruction sheet so you can see it. And I'll get the instruction sheet too. So let's pause and get out our instruction sheet. Okay, here's the instruction sheet. Here's what it says. That you are proving that growing up is a theme in the novel, right? You're going to do this by giving 3 examples from the book that show Esperanza growing up. Well, that should be pretty easy because you have that evidence sheet. Ooh, look at my hair, it's all funny on that side. You have the evidence sheet that has like 6 different examples on it, plus you have the Sire sheet that has 2 examples on it. So you have 8 examples that we've already thought about of Esperanza growing up, and you have the evidence, the page number, plus you already have written the explanation out. So you have all of this stuff, right? So don't start over where you think to yourself, you know, I don't have any of this. You actually do. You have it. And I can see that you know that because a lot of you have been putting that into your essays. So that's good. I'm glad you're pulling from the sheet. From those of you that haven't been, find your evidence sheet, look at your Sire sheet, and pull your evidence and your explanations from there. You already have that part done. We're basically just moving it over into an essay. Okay, let's look at the introduction. The introduction, we need an attention getter, a tie-in, and a claim. Okay, so an attention getter would be like some way to show, to kind of get your reader's attention. So I might say something like how I indented, because it's a paragraph. Growing up can be hard to do. Then I need, what's my next thing? That's just that'll count as my attention getter. That's good enough. My tie-in. It needs to tell the name of the book, who wrote it, and a short summary of the book. All right. So, in the book, and I italicized book titles, House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. It tells the story of a girl named Esperanza. We learn about her. Now I'm just trying to think, what is this book about? Okay, and I think back to it, and I think to myself, okay, well, we learned about her family, and we learned about her neighborhood, and we learned about her friends, and we learned about who she is. Okay. Now your summary might look different than my summary, and that's okay. We can have different summaries. But if you're stuck on how to start, this is a good thing to think about. So I might say, we learn about her neighborhood, her friends, her family, and her. I suppose we learn about Esperanza. Okay. I'm going to add through vignettes because I want people to know that this isn't written in chapters, it's written in vignettes. And I'm going to so that's good enough. I don't know if I need any more. Now I need my claim, and this is where most people, everybody's doing a good job on that tie-in. The ones that I see in summaries in there, but nobody really has a good claim. Some people have half a claim. They have the topic, right, the opinion, but for the reasons, they're putting in direct evidence, and our evidence is not a reason. Okay, so it says, remember a claim is a topic, opinion, and reason. So let's apply this to the book. The topic of our paper is the theme. Okay, so what is the theme? Growing up. Okay, our opinion of that is, well, our topic is theme. Our opinion of the theme is that it's about growing up. And now we need reasons. All right, I'm going to put that in there. Okay. One of the themes, okay, our topic is growing up. Opinion about what that theme is, because readers see Esperanza. And now I need my three things I'm going to talk about in my paper. So I want to think, what evidence am I going to put in? And I think I'm going to put the evidence in where she's interested in boys. I'm going to put evidence in where she understands death. I'm going to put evidence in that shows that that men are looking at her differently. So notice that I had to make the category. We'll call it a category. I had to say what the evidence was going to be about. I'm not going to put the evidence in the claim because I want to save that for the actual paragraph. Okay? Instead, I'm going to kind of put the point of the evidence. What was the purpose of the evidence? Well, the evidence showed that she's growing up, and I'm going to put it really simply because it shows she's interested in boys. Okay, so I'm going to do it the simplest way I can come up with. So I might say, one of the themes is growing up because readers see Esperanza starting to like boys, understanding death, and starting to see how men in the world treat her. Okay. This might be, now you can have a choice here. You can either choose to watch the rest of this video, or you can put me on pause and you can look at your own introduction and see, what does your introduction look like? Does it have all of these parts? And take 5 minutes and make sure your claim looks like my claim. Okay? That it has the topic of themes. It has the opinion about what one of those themes of the book is. Our opinion is that it's growing up, that there's a because, and that in your own words, you're putting what those reasons are. So if you want to do that, this is a good time to put me on pause and check yours. Give yourself 5 minutes. So if you've either done that and you're coming back, welcome back, or if you were just going to keep watching, I'm going to write one paragraph for you. Okay, one paragraph. Let's look at the instructions. The instructions say that I have to start with a topic sentence. Okay, a topic sentence will tell the reader what the paragraph is proving. So what am I trying to prove? Well, I'm trying to prove something in my claim. I'm trying to prove that the theme of this book, right, the theme of this book is growing up, and I'm doing it with one of my reasons. I'm doing it with one of my reasons. So, okay, it says, you are proving that Esperanza experienced something that shows she was getting older. So I need a topic sentence. So I'm going to start with the topic sentence. Notice a new paragraph, indented. I might start with the transition word. Remember we learned those transition words? I might start with like first, or I could start one way, or I could start an example. Okay, so I have lots of options there. I'm going to start with one way. One way, I'll say the readers. The readers can see that Esperanza is growing up is when, now I have to pick the first one, okay, the first one out of my claim. Let me color code this for you. Okay. So I have 3 things in here. So one is Esperanza starting to like boys. Okay. That's one thing. Make that blue. Remember, there's 3 things. The second thing is understanding death. Okay. I'm going to make that one purple. And the third thing is starting to see how men treat her. Okay, and I'll make that one, I don't know, this, whatever that color is. Okay, so now I need to start with my first thing. Do you remember? Now, I need you to remember back where we talked about, we had all those little sheets of paper. Man, this was maybe back in September or October, and we put them kind of all in order, and we really got the idea or the understanding that in order to, the evidence has to match the topic sentence, and the topic sentence has to match the claim. So all of that stuff that we learned at the beginning of the year, it's coming back to us now when we write this paper. Remember that. Here's your claim. We have our first thing, Esperanza starting to like boys. Now that goes into our topic sentence. One way the reader can see that Esperanza is growing up is when she starts to like boys. Okay? So look how I just took this idea, remember from our zoo essay? Took this idea and I put it right in my topic sentence. Okay? Now, what's next? Got my topic sentence done. Now I need evidence. Okay, your evidence is going to be from the book. You have a handout. We just went over that with 6 different pieces of evidence from 6 different vignettes. I'm going to pick one that with a good explanation. So we want to find one now that matches my point, that Esperanza is starting to like boys. I already have one in my brain. I'm already thinking about one that's going to work really well there. Now, before I put that evidence in, though, I have to tell what the vignette is about. I need to summarize the vignette. This is like authorizing. Remember when we added the name and author and title before evidence from an article? Well, we don't have an article now. From a book, we have to tell what's happening right before the evidence. So we're going to do that. I'm going to put you on pause for a moment, and I'm going to find the evidence that I think is going to work good here. Okay? So I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so I'm going to pull mine from Sire. This line right here. A boy held me once so hard, I swear I felt the grip and weight of his arms, but it was a dream. Okay, I'm going to pull that one. That's the one I'm going to use. So before I do that, though, I have to say, number 1, which vignette it comes from. In the vignette, Sire, and we put vignette titles in quotation marks. So you can see I have quotation marks here. Okay, in the vignette, Sire. And now's the hard part, kind of. I have to tell what the vignette's about. I have to give a little bit of a summary. I can't just throw the evidence in. Otherwise, my reader, it'll be too disconnected. So I have to sort of walk my reader into my evidence a little bit. And so what was this about again? All right, this was about Sire and about, I might have to go back to the thing and look at it. Might have to skim it. Okay, yeah, that's right. It's the first time she really noticed. She's like, I don't remember when I first noticed him looking at me, Sire, but I knew he was looking. It's the first time she sort of started to like Sire, right? And she walked past him and she talked about his girlfriend. Okay, so I have an idea about what this is about. Esperanza begins to like a boy named Sire. Sire has a girlfriend, and Esperanza is jealous. She wants to have a boy. Okay, so I'm not going to go on to explanation. I'm going to hold off on that. Back that up. All right, I'm going to put in my evidence. At the end of the vignette, Esperanza says, okay, A boy held me once so hard, I swear I felt the grip and weight of his arms, but it was a dream. Oh no, what did I do? Let me go back. Okay. I need to put my end quotation marks in. I need to put the page number, 75. Right? Does yours look like this? Comma after says, quotation mark, page number, period. Okay. So I have Esperanza begins to like a boy named Sire. Sire has a girlfriend, and Esperanza is jealous. At the end of the vignette, Esperanza says, a boy held me once so hard. Okay, so this maybe doesn't match, because I think if I end on jealous, that this evidence is going to show how she's jealous. That's not really what the evidence shows. It shows that she's dreaming of having a boyfriend. So I might have to add something here and say, Esperanza is jealous and starts to dream about her own boyfriend. Okay, now it matches a little bit better. Okay, my summary ends on what the quotation or the evidence is about. Your summary has to end on what the evidence is about. So I have one way the readers can see that Esperanza is growing up is when she starts to like boys. In the vignette Sire, Esperanza begins to like a boy named Sire. Sire has a girlfriend, and Esperanza is jealous and starts to dream about her own boyfriend. At the end of the vignette, Esperanza says, a boy held me once so hard, I swear I felt the grip and weight of his arms, but it was only a dream. Now I need my explanation. Let's go back to the paper. So there's my evidence. After the evidence, put in your explanation. You should already have the explanation written on your handout. Okay? You can add to it if you need to, or change parts of it if you need to. So I might say something like, I'd say like Esperanza, this shows, I don't really want to say what this shows. This is the hard part. Even I have to think about it, so you might have to think for a moment. And I'm trying to think about how I want to start my explanation. I could start with the this shows. I could say, I could start with the point, the dreaming point. I might start there. Dreaming about a boy shows that Esperanza, oh, I don't know what I just did. Cancel that. Esperanza is growing up. Okay, so I have to go back to my point in my explanation. Esperanza is growing up, but I have to give a reason because, oh, hold on. Okay, let me start that sentence over again. Dreaming about a boy shows that Esperanza is growing up because, now I have to add a reason. That's the hard part. Why does it show? Dreaming about boys shows that she's growing up because now she sees boys as potential romantic partners, and she is ready to start that part of her life. And I might even do it like a before. Before she used to, she used to avoid. I remember that, and what I'm thinking about in my head is I remember that one vignette where she said that, once the boys and girls left the house, the boys went their way and the girls went their way, and they never really played together. They were never really together, so I'm going to use that. She used to avoid boys when she was with her friends, but now she wants to be with them. Okay, and then that's my paragraph, okay, right? Or at least that's that one part of it. Now I have to do that 3 times. Okay, I have to go now, what would be the next one? I'd have to do understanding death. Okay, and I can put that in its own paragraph if I wanted to. Next, or another way, or I might do second or also. All of those are options that I could start my next one with. And I would use understanding death. And I would have to do the same thing, right? I'd have to have a good topic sentence. I'd have to introduce the vignette with a little bit of a summary. I need to put in the evidence, and then I need to put in an explanation. Okay? So I need to do that. That's what I want you to focus on in this essay. That's how we're writing these paragraphs. Share your stuff with me, and I will be able to give you comments. Okay? All right. Have a good day.